All right, let's dive right in. Cybersecurity certifications. Are they a rocket ship for your career, or are they just a massive cash grab? It's the question everyone asks when they're trying to break into this field or, just get that next big promotion. So today, we're going to figure it out together.
I mean, you've heard it a million times, right? Every job description, every career coach, they all say, get certified. But then you look at the cost, you look at the study guides, and you got to start wondering, is this really the best use of my time and my hard-earned money? But before we get cynical, let's just talk about the landscape for a second. According to the World Economic Forum, there is a global shortage of over 4 million cybersecurity professionals. I mean, just let that number sink in. 4 million. The demand for talent is absolutely off the charts, which makes knowing how to stand out more critical than ever. Okay, but being skeptical is a good thing. It's smart. A certification is a huge commitment, and you should go in with your eyes wide open. So before we talk about all the good stuff, let's get real and tackle the 4 biggest reasons you might be hesitating.
First up, the big one, the money. And we're not just talking about the exam fee itself, which, don't get me wrong, can be a lot. But you have to add in the study books, the online courses, maybe even a boot camp. It all adds up, and pretty quickly you're looking at a serious financial investment.
And here's a dose of reality. A certification is not a golden ticket. It's not. Hiring managers are looking for the whole package, right? They want to see real-world experience. They want to know you can communicate with a team, that you're a good fit for their company. A cert gets your resume looked at, for sure, but it won't land you the job all by itself. Now, this one is a massive trap you have to avoid. Not all certifications are created equal. Not even close. Some are the absolute gold standard in the industry, and others, well, they're basically worthless. Choosing the wrong one is a huge waste of time and money, and it won't impress anyone.
And last but not least, let's talk about time. For some of the big certs, we are talking about hundreds, and I mean hundreds, of hours of studying. Now try to squeeze that in between your full-time job, your family, and, having a life. It is a serious, serious challenge.
So, okay, let's recap. They're expensive, they don't guarantee a job, some are worthless, and they'll eat up all your free time for months. Sounds pretty terrible, doesn't it? So why on earth are certifications still such a massive deal in cybersecurity? Well, the answer, as it turns out, is in the numbers.
So now we're going to pivot. We're going to move away from the doubts and start looking at the cold, hard data. Because when you follow the money and see what companies are actually willing to pay for, a whole different picture starts to emerge.
So let's take a look. A senior penetration tester, right? The salary range here can go up to over 105,000 euros. And what's listed right there in the job requirements? You guessed it, certifications like CEH, OSCP, and GPN. The market is screaming that there's a direct link between these specific certs and these top-tier salaries.
And hey, this isn't just for the offensive security folks. Look at cloud security engineers. The pay can be even higher. And what do we see again? Employers are specifically asking for certs like CCSP, AWS Security, CompTIA Cloud Plus. The pattern is undeniable across the board.
Okay, so we've established that the right certification can be incredibly valuable. And right is the key word there. It's a crowded market out there, so let's build a really simple roadmap to help you figure out which path makes sense for you and your career goals.
We can really break this whole journey down into 3 simple stages. First, you're just starting out. You need to build that solid foundation. Second, you've got some experience under your belt and you're ready to start climbing the ladder. And third, you want to go deep to become a true specialist in one area. The cert you choose has to match the stage you're in.
So if you're in that starting out phase, these are the big ones to look at. CompTIA Security Plus is basically the global standard for foundational knowledge. The Google cert is fantastic for getting hands-on with tools people actually use. The ISC2 Certified in Cybersecurity is an amazing starting point because it's free. And for all of you who dream of being ethical hackers, the EJPT is where you want to look.
A good way to think about it is, are you a builder or are you a breaker? If you want to build up defenses, manage risk, and protect networks, Security Plus is your path. It's so widely respected that the U.S. Department of Defense requires it for some jobs. But if you're more interested in breaking things to find the weak spots, then the EJPT is for you. It's all practical, all hands-on, you're actually hacking into lab systems.
All right, so what about when you're ready to move up? Now we're talking about the heavy hitters. The CISSP is arguably the most famous advanced cert in the world, mixing high-level tech with management strategy.
The CISM is purely for those aiming for the manager's chair. And the OSCP, well, that's the famously brutal hands-on exam that proves you're in the elite tier of pen testers.
So after all that, what's the final verdict? Career rocket or cash grab? The truth is, a certification can be either one. It really all depends on how you approach it. The cert itself is just a piece of paper. It's what you do with it that counts.
You know, this quote from College Recruiter just hits the nail on the head. A certification is a valuable part of your professional development toolbox. It's a tool. It's really good for a few specific things, like proving your knowledge and getting you past those automated HR filters. But you can't build a whole career with just one tool.
So here's the real secret, the winning formula. A certification is just one component of your overall strategy. Real, lasting success comes from combining that cert with hands-on, practical experience, a strong professional network, and great soft skills. It's the combination of all those things that makes you unstoppable.
So in the end, think of a good certification as a key. It can absolutely open a door for you that was locked before, but it's still up to you to walk through that door and prove you belong there. So my question for you is, what's your plan for what comes next? Thanks for watching. And hey, if this was helpful, do me a favor and hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives just like this one.